Hey, what's up guys, Sir Emanon here, and welcome to another series of feature match commentaries on the channel today. So this is going to be all four of the top 8 matches from my online Discord tournament, and as you guys can see on the screen here from the brackets, we're just going to simply be going down the line, going through each of the 4 matches and seeing who emerges victorious. And we're going to be segmenting this video as well, so if you guys do want to skip around to various particular matchups, that'll be easier for you guys as well. And also, if you guys caught my last video, I actually lied. I said there were going to be 3 videos. There's actually going to be 4 videos because I'm going to have to make the kind of rundown as far as the top 16 deck list video and like the recap of the event is concerned. And so that will be a 4th video. So I'm going to try and space them out as best as I can. And hopefully it's not like too much of like an overload or a burden on you guys, but yeah, that's just gonna be where we're at for that. But anyways, if you guys do want to play in the next tournament, feel free to go ahead and sign up with the link to the Discord server in the description box below. Signups open until next Friday, March 19 at 10 p.m. EST, so be sure to get your signups in before then. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the first match here, which is going to be Salty Player, aka Asian Shadow, on Virtual World versus Kinda Sleepy on Drytron. VW versus Drytron. We will soon, banish this matchup to the ethers of Yu-Gi-Oh's history, I suppose. So let's go ahead and get started without any further ado. So it looks like the players are going to tie a whole bunch of times before it works like Virtual World is going to take the RPS win. I'm going to do this all in one take, by the way. And again, I haven't watched any of these matches, so it should be an interesting one. Actually, I lied. I did watch one of them live. But anyways, that's not important. What is important is that you guys will get to see unfiltered, however many minutes of me talking. And that'll be fine and dandy. Hopefully, I won't be super burned out by the end of it. But anyways, opening hand for Virtual World going first is going to be Gigi, Lulu, Lili, Lala, and Joel. 4 names plus Droll seems pretty good. And then the opening hand for Drytron going second is going to be Zeta, Emergency, Ash, Zeta, and Ben 10. So duplicate names is not that good. Ash is fine, but not against this hand. This hand could definitely play through it. So it'll be pretty tough to play through, especially with Droll. So again, normal summon Gigi, activate Lulu, that's going to be Ash. And then going to activate Lili next. That's going to send Qinglong and Xuanwu, summoning itself to the field. And then going to activate Qinglong, banish itself, and then add Gigi, and then pitch Lulu. Going to activate Lalo next. That's going to send Chuche, summon itself, and then bring back Lulu. And then from here, going to go for a Gotham's. So it's going to Gotham's actually rip a card. So hey, here's a kind of a preview of what VW might be able to do post banlist. And that's going to be the end of game 1. You know, short and sweet. Let's move on to game 2. So it looks like game 2 is going to be Drytron going first. I guess that's like the one good thing about these kinds of matchups is that it'll make these videos not as painful to record. Anyways, opening hand for Drytron going first this time around is going to be Orange Light. Oops, I can't hover for some reason. Orange Light, Alpha, Nibiru, Ava, and Emergency. So this hand is pretty interesting. It has Alpha and Zeta, which is a combo. And it also has Orange Light to stop any hand traps. So that's pretty good. And then the opening hand for Virtual World going second is going to be Gamma, Lili, Nian Yan, Kowloon, and Lulu. So it has Gamma, but there's Orange Light to kind of stop it. So we will see how this game ends up going. Probably going to be a Drytron win if I had to guess. Emergency adds Zeta to hand, and then going to go ahead. Alpha tributes Zeta, going to chain Gamma, and then going to chain Orange Light. That's going to summon itself, search for Ben 10, and then Ava effect. That is going to banish Orange Light to search for a copy of another Orange Light. And then going to Zeta, tribute Ben 10, going to summon itself, and then search for Meteonis. And then Ben 10 effect is going to add a copy of Manju. And then from here, going to normal summon Manju, grab a copy of Ultimateness, link those away for a copy of Union Carrier, rest in peace in 3 days. Carrier effect to equip Dawn Knight from deck. And then going to Meteonis away the Carrier, summon back the Ben 10. Dawn Knight triggers here, that's going to send a copy of Delta. And then Meteonis is going to add itself to hand by reducing the attack stat of Alpha. Going to Delta, tribute away Ben 10, reveal Meteonis, get a draw, and then going to Ben 10, add another copy of Orange Light, and then going to Meteonis for a copy of Ultimateness, and then prep to add Meteonis back from grave, as well as to hand a copy of another Ben 10, also rest in peace in 3 days, at least the second and third copies, and then going to pass. So Ultimateness with 3 negations, Nibiru to back it up, is pretty solid. The top deck I actually did not see. Let's check out what that was. Is going to be Lalo. So this hand actually has a chance of playing through this, but it's going to be tough with the Nibiru. So going to activate Kowloon, that's going to be negated by Ultimateness. And then going to normal summon Nian Nian, activate Lily. That's going to be negated. Activate Lal. That's going to be negated. And activate Lulu. That can't be negated now. So that is going to send Qinglong to add Chuche. And then Qinglong effect is going to search a copy of Gigi. And then pitch Chuche. And then gonna synchro those off for a copy of Juju. Gigi effect is gonna go ahead and send Chuan Wu, summon itself. And then Yan brings itself back. We can maybe go for Stardust Charge here. Oh, if not for the Nibiru. Now, it's actually not bad for VW in a vacuum. Nian does get to recycle the Qinglong. But Sleepy does have to draw pretty much exactly a Drytron or a Ritual Monster in order to keep playing, which again is not too hard, but we'll see. Gonna end phase, add back Lulu, and then pass. Draws Cosmic Cyclone. Hey, that actually is not one of the aforementioned cards. So VW actually has a chance this game. 8900 attack token, by the way. That is big. And he's just gonna straight up admit defeat there. That's crazy, actually. Yeah, because Xuanwu, banish, bring back whatever, pitch the top deck, and then Lulu target, and that is actually the end of the game. Okay, so Drytron did not win this. I lied. Well, I mean, I knew the end result. I just forgot what the score was as well, but it was a 2-0 for Virtual World. So how about that? I mean, you could argue that Virtual World was going to put a VFD turn 1, which is why, you know, the Drytron player scooped, but also, like, it was going to be, you know, pretty well through full combo, even through the Ash. And this game was a pretty good example of just the deck's general resiliency. So it's good to see that, you know, game 2, this deck was able to go second without VFD, which is cool. But anyways, let's move on into the next match here. That was a pretty short one, actually. So this is going to be Jeebus Peak Asian on Rocks, Adamancipator Prank Kids, versus Burrito Man 93 on Drytron. So let's go and get started without further ado. Looks like Drytron's going to win the RPS here and is going to choose to go first. If you guys are enjoying this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new here and want to see more commentary similar to this style. But the opening hand for Drytron going first is going to be Droll, Double Emergency, Delta, and Manju. Has Banten access and a way into another Drytron that's not Delta, so it's a good hand. I had to like kind of process it for a second there, but yeah, this hand definitely works. And then the hand for Rocks is going to be Seeker, Researcher, Parallaxy, Doki Doki, and Ash. Ash is probably not going to be enough to stop this hand, but it actually could depending on when he times this. So I'm curious as to see when he's going to use it. The rest of the hand looks pretty good for Extender, so he's going to Emergency to add a copy of Alpha, and then going to activate Alpha, attributing Delta. That's going to be Ashed. And then, yeah, Alpha stays in hand. And then going to go Manju, that's going to grab a search for a copy of Meteonis. So he had the option of either going Benten to trigger Delta to get a search, but he wasn't guaranteed to like go for an actual ritual play there. I guess he's trying to fish for a Benten off this Delta here, if I had to guess. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. So going to go for Delta, true to Alpha, that's going to summon itself, reveal Meteonis, and get a draw. It's a copy of Zeta. So actually, there is a case where, well, just trying to think, because if it was Benten, then he would have gotten the draw. Yeah, that would have been very awkward. I think he did do the right play here, given the fact that his hand, the rest of the hand wasn't good. But yeah, drawing this was unfortunate because, like, I mean, this is now just redundant access. And he doesn't have any way into Benten, so no way to ritual summon. Yeah, this is not looking too good for Drytron here. Going to actually go into Union Carrier, and then Carrier effect to equip Dawn Knight, and then going to pass. So top deck for Rocks is going to be Guardian. That's a pretty good one. Going to normal summon Doki Doki, and then activate Researcher. That's going to summon itself to the field. And then Research effect is going to banish, or excavate 5 rather, and miss, which is unfortunate. Definitely can happen sometimes though. And then he's going to activate Doki. That's going to pitch Guardian to summon out Analyzer. And then activate Analyzer's effect. That's going to hit a copy of Roxy's or Guardian. Going to pick the Guardian here in this case. And then going to be linking those two away for a copy of Fiber. Fiber going to chain with Exceed. Or Parallel Exceed, excuse me. Going to go for a copy of Researcher. Or Seeker, excuse me. Wow. And then Parallel Exceed to summon another copy of Parallel Exceed. So this should just be the end of the game. Going to link for a copy of Appaloosa. And we can summon the Seeker out of hand, and then Seeker effect is going to hit Supplier. And Supplier can add Guardian as well. Here we can go into Dragite, we can go into any number of things. Droll is going to be activated here, but it's not going to matter. Going to Synchro for a copy of Raptite, and then use that effect. That's going to hit a copy of Researcher as well. So more tuner access, which is good. And then going to Synchro those away for a copy of Dragite. And then Dragite effect is going to try and bounce the board here. Hits 3 rocks, so gets to bounce both of the cards back. And then going to be thinking here. This returns them. Let me see. It returns them to the hand, so the Dawn Knight actually should be in hand right here. But I don't think it's going to be a big difference. Oh, well, they fixed it anyways. Going to go to battle phase and attack for 15, 14, 3k, and 24. Is this game? It is game, I do believe, right? Yeah, it is game. So that is going to be the end of game 1. Looks like they've got to do a match, but not a big deal. Let's move now into game 2. Looks like Drytron's going to go first again. And the opening hand for Drytron going first again is going to be Fafnir, Alpha, Ben 10, Natasha, and Nova. Natasha's a really interesting card post-ban list. I do wonder if people are still going to incorporate it. I've seen a lot of prototype builds still play this card, but I'm not really sure. It's not a card that has this high value. I mean, obviously, you know, the Snatch Steal effect is really good, but it's a lot better when you can do it multiple times, right? So I'm curious if you guys think this card will actually stay in Drytron builds moving forward. And people will like do interesting stuff like banish Ben 10 and then like recycle it with Chaos Space. I've seen that kind of theory floating around. Not sure if that's really that good, but it's an idea. But the hand is definitely full combo, at least pre-ban list. And then the opening hand for Rocks going second is going to be Droll, Analyzer, Seeker, Godarla, Gamma. Holy moly. Yeah, that's Droll plus Kaiju for Ultimateness. You really love to see it if you're a Rock player right here. So going to Alpha, attribute away Ben 10, that's going to summon itself, add Ben 10, and then Ben 10 is going to be chained with Droll. Very good. Gonna Nova for a copy of Gamma, and then going to link those away for a copy of Masquerena. Gamma gonna attribute away Natasha, that's going to be Psyframe Gamma. I was like, wait, Gamma gonna be Gamma? But yeah, they are both Gamma, in fact. So Drytron Gamma is gonna be Psyframe Gamma. And then going to pass. For turn, we're gonna see a top deck Seeker. Doesn't really matter because 2 tuners is quite good. Analyzer effect going to special summon itself and then use the effect to excavate. That's going to hit Guardian and Doki. Doki going to be the pick here because we can pitch for a Researcher. And we could see... Oh, I did scroll down the chat. Let's see. Sorry, opened really crazy. Yeah, not worth playing it out. Yeah, so that was the only unknown card because the Benton was surged off the Alpha. So... yeah, I mean, this was just a crazy setup for sure. So that's going to be the end of match number 2. Rock's taking this one 2-0. So Drytron quickly falling in both matches here, even with Ben 10 at 3 and Carrier legal. So that is interesting, huh? These matches are going by pretty quickly. I guess this video might actually not be that long after all. But anyways, Rocks are also going to move into the top 4 against Virtual World. That's going to be the first matchup. So we're going to move into match number 3 here. That is going to be Purple Midnight on Dogmatika Eldlich versus Jaxel MS on Megalith Drytron. Will our other Drytron player win in this match or lose this one as well? Let's find out. So it looks like Megalith Drytron's going to take the RPS win here, and he's going to choose to go first here. Also, just want to take this time to shout out my patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the content. The long form and consistent content is made possible thanks to you guys. And if you do want to help support the channel via Patreon, feel free to check it out in the description box below as usual. But the opening hand for Megalith Drytron going first in game 1 is going to be Manju, Nova, Ash, Vandy's Ruler, and Prep. Always sucks to see conflicting normal summons in this deck because the deck plays so few of them. But this has Drytron plus Benton Axis, so it's not that bad. And it has Ash as well. And then the opening hand for Dogmatika Eldlich going second is going to be Conquistador, Ice Dragon's Prison, Nadir's Servant, Pot of Extravagance, and Ash. So the hand is pretty good from both sides. We'll see how this is going to interact. So Nova is going to be Ash, as a matter of fact. So that actually really hurts because that's the only Drytron name. So normal summon Manju is going to be the play next. That's going to grab Betheler. And then going to go and activate Prep. That's going to search for Megalith Full. So let me read this card. You can discard this card, ritual summon Megalith by tributing. So we can go like Bethor, tribute, Manju, summon full add back Bethor, pass. So at least he's sitting on at least a Bethor interruption because he plays 2 Bethor. It's not pretty, but it's an interruption at least through the Ash. Yeah, Bethor effect to ritual summon the full effect to add back the Bethor, and then pass. Yeah, all right, cool. Good to know that this is actually how the play ended up transpiring. So the top deck's going to be Torrential Tribute for turn for Dogmatika Eldlich. This is a very breakable board, and there's only going to be 1 pop max. Plus, there's an Do Your Servant to kind of just force it. So looks pretty good, depending, of course, when Ash gets dropped. Extravagance is going to banish 6 here. That is going to be ashed. Ooh, so now the Do Your Servant is guaranteed to resolve pretty much, unless if all the entities are banished. Let's see. There's 2 of them. I don't know why I like hovered over both of them and I couldn't process that was 2 of them. But 2 entities, and I'm not sure if you play the 3rd one. You do. All right. So the Do Your Servant gonna banish, or sorry, send a copy of Entis, and that's gonna search for a copy of Ecclesia. Entis gonna pop full, and then gonna chain the full, gonna tribute, and then I think you just went a bit too fast there. Gonna tribute itself for Ophiel, and then Ophiel effect on summon. That's going to go ahead and grab another copy of full. So at least he has another way to ritual summon next turn. Worst case scenario. It's not looking that good though, because literally just no Drytrons. He's pretty much playing like a bad version of Megalith because it's a small package and he's not playing like Unformed and stuff. But going to go ahead and normal summon the Ecclesia here. That's going to grab punishment. And then set 4 is looking very strong. Gonna pass on this. So he draws Ash for turn. That is very, very suboptimal, I will say. Ophiel can ritual summon here. That can grab full maybe. Full can add back something. But, I mean, it's not looking too good. Ophiel effect to ritual summon. That's going to be met with IDP. Yeah, because the full was properly summoned. So yeah, going to banish both of them. And then going to activate Bethor the ritual. Oh, he's asking to resolve Ophiel. But yeah, Ophiel has to include itself as part of the tribute requirement, which is why cards like Ghost Ogre is strong against them. But yeah, Bethor going to tribute itself, or sorry, discard itself and tribute Ash to summon out Megalith full. And then full effect is going to add back Ben 10 and then going to chain Torrential and Conquistador. So that's going to wipe the board. Did he banish Link Spider? Yeah, he did. So if he's only playing 1 Link Spider, I guess it makes sense if he wants us engraved specifically. Yeah. And he also pitched Ash there instead of Vanity's Ruler. So yeah, this Cursed Eldon is now going to resolve, which is quite nice. So going to grab Walkera off that, set it, and then end phase going to banish Conquistador for a Scarlet. So yeah, this is looking pretty bad for Drytron. Draws Nova, but it's not even going to bother to use it. Going to go ahead and Scarlet in the end phase for Lord, or for Eldlich. And then going to pass turn, draws another copy of Cursed Eldon. Not the greatest, but it's fine. Going to use the effect, that's going to grab another copy of Walkero. And then battle phase, attack for 25. And main phase 2, going to go ahead and banish Scarlet for Conquistador. And then pass. Yeah, this is one of the decks that people will expect to be quite strong, like some form of Eldlich. Gonna draw Emergency for turn. So we'll see if he decides to play now. Yeah, he's gonna go for Nova, that's gonna summon out Alpha from deck. And then going to link that away for Link Rebo. And then going to just go ahead and use Walkera right away, not even going to take any chances, I guess, with potentially a Benton top deck. But the other one was, in fact, a copy of Emergency. So going to pass from that, yeah. That again was the only Drytron name. So I guess he was also just trying to, make sure that there were no Drytron access like at all. The top deck is going to be Solemn Strike, which is quite good. This should just be the function at the end of the game. Going to switch Walkera to attack position, attacking a Link Rebo, and then get in for 2,500 damage. And then main phase 2, going to set 2 and then pass. Not even using Cursed Eldon here, actually. Draws Chaos Valkyria, which is not horrible, but it's not going to help the hand there. And that is going to be the end of game 1. So Dogmatika Eldlich actually taking that one going second. The Ash being very good there. So game 2 looks like Megalith Drytron is going to try again going first. Opening hand for them is going to be Fafnir, Zeta, Nova, Bethor, and Foolish Burial. So hand looks quite good. It has a lot more workable engine cards to try and manage this with, so it doesn't immediately fold to an Ash this time. So much better. And then the opening hand for Dogmatika Eldlich is going to be Skill Drain, Pot of Extravagance, Walkero, Curse Eldwin, and Scarlet. So we've seen the potential of Skill Drain against established boards, so we'll see if that actually matters, especially against like this type of build where it's not Ultimateness. So we're going to go ahead and Foolish Burial, send a copy of Alpha, and then Alpha going to tribute Zeta. That was pretty risky against Cycle Vader, but it worked here for sure. No hand traps. Going to go for Ben 10 off the Alpha. And then Zeta tribute away Ben 10. That's going to summon itself. Grab a copy of Meteonis. And then Ben 10 to add Vanity's Ruler. And then from here, going to link those for a copy of Carrier. Carrier to equip Dawn Knight. And then going to Nova for a copy of Delta. And then going to link that away for a Link Rebo. Going to Delta, sorry about that. Delta, tribute Bethor, summon itself, reveal the Meteonis, and then draw another Ben 10, which is quite good. Meteonis going to tribute away the Carrier for a copy of Ben 10 here. Dawn Knight gets to send a copy of Gamma. And then going to Meteonis add back by targeting Delta. And then going to tribute the Ben 10 in hand for Gamma. That's going to summon itself back as well as the Ben 10. As well as the Alpha. And then Ben 10 triggers for Valkyria. And then going to go for Anaconda because he is on Dragoon. And the Anaconda effect is going to pay 2,000. That's going to send materials, summon out Dragoon, and then going to tribute summon for a copy of Vanity's Ruler, and then trigger Ben 10 again for Natasha. And then going to go for the Fafnir. That's going to grab Nova for next turn. And then going to pass. So he has Vanity's Ruler, which isn't the greatest in this matchup, but he has Dragoon to back it up. So it's not horrible. No hand traps though, so I think Dogmatika Eldlich does stand a pretty good chance, especially with the top deck there being, I believe it was Nettier Servant. Yeah, that's not a bad top deck at all. So now he has multiple answers, being both Eldlich and Nettier Servant to take care of Vanity's Ruler if need be. So he's going to activate Extravagance first. It's going to banish 6, and he's going to let that resolve. That's going to draw Strike and Droll. Would have liked that last turn, but it's not bad here on the crackback. And then going to activate Cursed Eldwin. That's going to pay 800 to search for Golden Lord. And then going to activate Golden Lord, pitch Scarlet, target, I assume, the Vanity's Ruler, and that's going to be negated by Dragoon. Then going to activate Servant, that's going to send Entis, and then search for Ecclesia. And then Entis going to pop. Actually, let's see what was banished. He's playing Baron Blossom, which is cool. Oh, he's playing Imduk as well. So, a little bit more insight to the extra deck. Going to go ahead and summon Ecclesia, use the effect that's going to grab Fluidolise. And then going to summon out Fluidolise, and then negate Dragoon. Going to Lord Effect, send Scarlet, gonna summon itself, and then Curse Eldon gonna send Conquistador, and then go to Battle Phase. Lord gonna attack into Dragoon, gonna activate the Link Rebo in response. Yeah, there's a replay there. I think he just kind of like brain farted. But anyways, in any case, Ecclesia's gonna attack into Verte. I think he just totally forgot that the Link Rebo was on field. But yeah, Ecclesia going to attack into Verte, and then going to crash Flirtily into the Dragoon, and then going to set 3, and then end phase, going to Scarlet for Conquistador, and then Conquistador for Scarlet as well. So this is Strike, Walkero, Conquistador, Skill Drain, Droll. Yeah, that's pretty good. So top deck's going to be Fafnir. We're going to see Alpha tribute away Natasha. That's going to be Walkeroed. And then going to activate Nova. That's going to summon another copy of Alpha. And then Gamma going to summon itself by tributing Alpha and then summon back Delta. And then going to Meteonis. Going to activate Conquistador in response. This does target, right? Just making sure. It does target, yeah. So he's popping the Gamma, which I assume was a target, since it's not going to add itself back to hand. Battle Phase is going to attack into the Ecclesia. It crashes, of course, because Flirtily. And then going to activate another copy of Fafnir. That's going to grab Nova. And then going to activate Droll, just because, I guess. And the end phase is going to activate Scarlet, summon out Golden Lord, and this is the end of the game. So, Dogmatika Eldlich also going to be 2-0ing Megalith Drytron. So, all Drytron players actually have now lost in top 8, 2-0. So, even though 5 Drytron players top this tournament, none of them actually are going to make it past the top 8 here, which is very fascinating to see. Add to that the fact that Ben 10 is now at 1 and Carrier's at 0, and we're We were very sad if we were Drytron players here. But now we're going to move on into the last and final match. Surprisingly, this video is only 25 minutes so far. I am happy about that. But we are now going to move on into the last match between Aerosol TCG on Earth Machines and Elementzano Official on Dragon Link. Cool match. We might see this more into the new format. I really do like Earth Machines. It's been picking up a bit of steam, if you will excuse the pun. I should not be recording at 12:30 a.m. This is the kind of stuff that comes out of my mouth. But anyways, we're going to see Earth Machines going first here. Opening hand for them is going to be Redeployment, Heavy Forward, Metal Cruncher, Ash, and Call by the Grave. Yeah, this is a good hand. No question about it. And then the opening hand for Dragon Link going second is going to be Collapse Serpent, Chaos Space, Gamma, Quick Launch, and Seyfert. So drew a hand trap that doesn't interact with Call by the Grave. That's always nice to see. But he does have Ash for it if he really needs to stop a play. So we will see what ends up transpiring. So he's going to go ahead and redeployment, pitch the Metal Cruncher. That's going to search another Metal Cruncher and a copy of Fortress. And he's going to normal summon the Metal Cruncher, use the effect to grab 3 Harvesters to hand. And then he's going to Fortress, pitch away the Harvester to summon out Fortress. And then going to Link Summon for a copy of Ballista. Ballista effect is going to grab, looks like nothing because of Gamma. So, I wonder if it was worth using Ash on that. Just because, like, now not only do you not get the search for box, but you don't have the body for Bulldozer to tribute. So I think maybe it was worth ashing Gamma. Not really entirely sure, though. Pretty interesting. Oh, yeah, he's going to just set Call by the Grave and pass. So he orders, like, when I noticed that whenever Aerosol opens Redeployment, plus, like, a way to pitch a Machina card, it tends to go into Metal Cruncher, Fortress as it searches, and then searches Harvester to go for a play with, like, Tunneler, and then, like, banish it to bring back Harvester and grab a search there. So that's a play I've noticed that he tends to like to do quite a bit with Redeployment specifically. But anyways, the turn is going to be passed over, and the top deck is, I believe, an Ash. So we're going to see normal summon Safer, use the effect to chain Call by the Grave, and then going to Chaos Space, going to pitch Collapse Serpent, that's going to be met with Ash, and then going to activate Quick Launch, that's going to summon out a copy of Tracer from deck, and then going to go into Striker Dragon, use that effect, that's going to grab a copy of Boot Sector, or Boot Sector Launch, excuse me, and then going to use the effect of Striker Dragon to add back Tracer, popping itself, and then Boot Sector is going to summon a copy of Tracer, and then Tracer going to pop Boot, and then going to summon out Recharger from that. And then from here, going to link for a copy, or sorry, synchro for a copy of the Chaos Ruler. Ruler is going to mill 5. That is going to add Black Metal Dragon. That's a pretty good follow-up. Battle Phase is going to hit for 3,000 and then going to pass. For turn, he's going to top deck a copy of Ash. That is not very good. So I think you can go heavy forward for Harvester and hope that's good enough. But there is Ash here. Going to activate heavy forward, that is going to be fine. He's going to add Harvester to hand. And then going to normal summon Harvester, that is also going to resolve for Bulldozer. So maybe he's just going to Ash the Bulldozer. Going to link for a copy of Goliath, and then tribute away Goliath for the Bulldozer. And then summon itself to the field. And then going to activate the effect, that's going to be Ashed. And then going to pass on that. This is looking pretty good for Dragon Link. For turn, he's going to draw a second copy of Boot Sector Launch. This is something notable about his build. He's playing multiple Boot Sectors. He's going to normal summon the Black Metal, and then go into a copy of Striker Dragon. Black Metal is going to search for a Red MD. Chooses not to ash that. He's going to banish Red MD, or banish 4 Red MD, excuse me, and then go Red MD effect. That's going to bring back Tracer. And then going to activate Boot Sector, and then go... Let's see. Attack for 49, I believe. Which is not a game, actually. Gonna go to main phase 2. Link it to a copy of Erratic Seal. There definitely had to have been a way to make game there, right? Maybe he's out of targets for a Tracer. I didn't check to see how many Synchrons he's playing before I started recording. If he's on just 1, it makes sense. But I think definitely if he was on 2, he had game. Because it would have been Tracer, Pop Boot, summon Synchron. Link away for Sword, bring back Chaos Ruler, and that's game. Yeah, so it definitely would have been game if he had another target for a Tracer. But he's going to go into Seal, and then pass. Oh, that's 2 copies of Ash. That is not going to be it. So game 1 goes to Dragon Link here. We're now going to move into game number 2, where it looks like Earth Machines are going to start things off again. And then Let's see. Oh, should have Ash Gamma. All right, so that answers that question. All right, I was actually wondering if it was worth Ash Gamma there, so that is good to know. Yeah, it cost me the game. That's very good to know. Opening hand, though, for Earth Machine going first in game 2 is going to be Double Metal Cruncher, Redeployment, Urgent Schedule, and Anchor Drill. Very interesting always to see Urgent Schedule in the deck, especially going first. Just because like it's a great card, but it's like only a starter going second usually. But regardless, this hand is good enough anyways. And then the opening hand for Dragon Link is going to be Double Tracer, World Legacy Guard Dragon, Safer, and Quick Launch. So this is a good hand, no hand traps though. So we'll see which engine is going to reign supreme because of the fact that, of course, both players drew 5 engine cards. Going to think in main phase, activate redeployment. That's going to pitch the Metal Cruncher, search for Fortress, and Overdrive. I do like having Overdrive there. Going to go Metal Cruncher, normal summon. That's going to activate to grab a copy of Harvester. Yeah, like I mentioned last game, he does typically tend to go for this play instead of just hard searching, Brutadozer off the bat. Going to pitch Fortress as well as Harvester to summon the Fortress back, and then link those for a copy of Ballista. Ballista is going to grab Box, and then Box Effect is going to search for a copy of probably Trencher, and then going to pitch the Anchor Drill as well as the Trencher for the Fortress, and then going to banish Trencher, and then go for Harvester, and then going to Harvester for Brutadozer. Yeah, Fortress is very good in this deck for sure. Going to Harvester to level modulate, and that's going to overlay for a copy of VFD. Yes, this is like the VFD combo, which is why it goes to that play. He's going to activate Brutadozer, and then going to chain Calamities probably, because if you do it before, then this becomes light, and then you can't tribute it for Brutadozer. Yeah, going to chain VFD, calling light in response, and then going to go ahead and summon out Brutadozer. And then Brutadozer is going to summon out a copy of the Tunneler. So this makes sure that like your Brutadozer play itself is going to resolve pretty much, just at the cost of like maybe getting interrupted on the way there, as we saw in game 1. But going to overlay those two for a copy of River Stormer. Stormer is going to detach Tunneler to search for a copy of Bullet Train, and then going to link that away for a copy of Goliath, and then going to Stormer Effect, tribute away Goliath, and then going to link that away for another Goliath, and then going to activate Bullet Train, pitch the Bullet Train for Fortress, excuse me. And then those two are going to turn into a copy of Anger Knuckle. And then Goliath Effect is going to attach to VFD. Does this apply to... it applies to machines. Alright, so it doesn't actually gain the effect. I was just wondering. Also ripped to this card, by the way. Although this deck definitely doesn't need it to function. Tunneler is going to recycle all the links... all the links plus both Crunchers and Drill. Interesting. So going to draw Overdrive and the Drill back, which is a 1-up, by the way. And he's going to set 2 and then pass. Or set 3 and then pass, excuse me. I'm just trying to think here. My mind's kind of scattered right now. Yeah. There's a possibility of seeing the play where like you go Anger Knuckle, send like a set Urgent Schedule. That could be cool for sure. Because that triggers the Urgent Schedule effect to add a level 10 machine. So that's an interaction to know if you guys are not aware of that one. But anyways, Bullet Train going to add back in the end phase a copy of Brutadozer, and then going to pass. For turn, the top deck is going to be another copy of World Legacy Guard Dragon. So he's going to normal summon Safer, and then on summon going to activate Calamities. That's going to call Earth, and then going to go Quick Launch, summon out Rocket Synchron, and then going to link those away for a copy of Seal, and then going to pass. End phase going to activate Double-Headed Anger Knuckle. And that is going to be the end of game number 2. Yeah, because he knows that there is Overdrive set. So you could just wipe the Warrior Citadel if you wanted to, and then go for game next turn. So we're now going to be moving to game number 3. And I believe this is the first game 3 of this entire video. But looks like Dragon Link is going to start things off here. And opening hand for them is going to be World Legacy Guard Dragon, Ash, Collapse Serpent, Safer, and Tracer. Very strong hand for sure. Not much to say about this one. And then the opening hand for Earth Machines going second is going to be Heavy Forward, Nibiru, Redeployment, Derek Crane, and finally here it is, a Psychic Soldier that rides into battle against security forces on Currents of Lightning using an autonomic amplifier called Psyframe. Yeah, it has Nibiru, which is good, but drawing this sucks, although there are multiple engine cards in this hand as well. So let's see how this game plays out. Gonna go ahead and normal summon Safer to add another copy of Safer. A lot of people don't realize that this can add itself, by the way. But going to go ahead and World Legacy Guard Dragon. That's going to go ahead and bring back Safer. And then link that off for a copy of Striker Dragon. Use Striker Dragon to grab Boot Sector. And then going to Banish for Collapse Serpent. and then link those off for a copy of Romulus. Romulus and Collapsator are going to search for Wyvern Burster as well as Ravine. And then going to banish Collapsator for Wyvern Burster, and then turn that into a copy of LP. Guard Dragon is going to move the LP and then activate LP effect. Going to chain Nibiru. So that's going to summon out a token and the Nibiru. Not a big deal because Boot Sector launch is good follow-up as well as Ravine. Going to put an attack position over here. Going to activate Ravine, use that effect. That's going to pitch Seyfert, sending Levianeer. And then going to banish Seyfert for Levianeer. And then activate Boot Sector, use the effect to summon out Tracer from hand. Tracer going to pop the going to pop the token actually. Summon out Recharger. And then going to synchro those away for a copy of Savage. Savage to equip Romulus. And then going to banish Lights and Darks for Levy. And then going to pop the Nibiru. So it's basically just Savage and Ash at this point. For turn, the top deck is going to be Gamma. Ooh, this could actually be useful. Depending on what gets activated when in response to like redeployment, which is probably going to be the first activation here. Yeah, redeployment going to pitch Driver. That is going to actually resolve for a copy of Fortress and a copy of Citadel. So I think he was just playing around Gamma actively there. He's going to... Oh, I didn't scroll that in the chat there. Going to activate Heavy Forward. That is going to resolve for Harvester. So yeah, very, very smart to hold these interruptions. He's going to normal summon Harvester and then Chain Block with the Dairy Crane. So Dairy Crane was chaining 2 there actually, even though he did it the other way around. We're going to add Brutadozer and then summon the Dairy Crane. Citadel going to pitch, or be pitched rather, for Fortress. And then going to go with Harvester to level modulate. And then going to go for Calamities. And then use the effect that's going to call Earth. He's asking to read Dozer here, going to negate VFD with Savage. And then going to tribute the Dairy Crane for Brutadozer. And then Dozer effect is going to get ashed. And then going to link that away for a copy of Goliath. And then go to battle phase. He's going to crash to allow the Citadel to come back to the field. And then Goliath also gets a trigger to put another material under the VFD. And then he's going to be thinking here. Going to pass on this. So I actually chose not to go Zeus. Oh, wait, no. He would have had to have attacked with the Calamities. Never mind. I don't know why I said that. Yeah. Not looking very great for Earth Machine, but it's looking a little bit even right now. Although I think the board state favors Dragon Link here. He's going to go Battle Phase, attack into the VFD, activate VFD. Thinking an attribute, it's going to be Light. And then going to activate Savage to negate. And then going to go ahead and attack in a Citadel. Going to activate Citadel effect. That's going to wipe the Levianeer, excuse me. And going to pass. For turn, the top deck is going to be Nibiru. Oh, honestly, any card that was probably the engine probably would have worked in this case. Most things would have worked. Yeah, really any like actual starter would have been very good. Yeah, that's not it here. Going to pass on this. Going to draw a copy of Rocket Synchron. Yeah, this is looking quite good for Dragon Link now. That's a good top deck for sure. Battle Phase is going to attack for 3k, so she's going to play a little bit safe, and then going to pass on this. For Gen, the top deck's going to be Ash. Wow. These are some very, very unlucky top decks. He's going to set Ash. Oh, he said GG's, and then realized he could just set Ash to try and live. He's going to go in Boot Sector, summon out Rocket Synchron, and then going to go into Striker Dragon, Effective Striker Dragon. That's going to add, Boot Sector, right, because he plays 2 of it. And then second effect, that's going to pop, and then add back Recharger. Recharger, bring back Levianeer. Yeah, I thought he was going to do this last turn, but maybe he's just trying to play around Gamma. Yeah, because he played around Gamma the whole time turn 1 because of redeployment, right? He could have negated redeployment with like Savage or Ash, but he chose not to. So I think he was just having the read on the Gamma here. So he played this very well, actually. But now that, of course, is a monster set, no fear of Gamma. So you can go Battle Phase, attack into the set Ash, and attack with Savage for game. So that was quite good, actually. That was 1, 2, 3 summons. So very nice match here for sure. Yeah, nothing here as well for the top decks. Only hand traps for 3 turns. Unfortunate, but it was very well played by both players here. So that's going to be it for the first long video of the day. Whew, I am going to be exhausted after this weekend. I can already tell. But anyways, I'm gonna enjoy it though. I just need to get to bed right now because I'm tired and I need to do that. But anyways, thanks guys for watching. I'm not gonna do the whole long outro. Thanks, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys next time.